In just a few moments, I will be gone. I still don't know what to expect on the moon. Will I really be able to send messages to my friends? The Kuhenki, the animals of Nod-Krai. I'll never get to see them again. I wonder where I'll be when the next moon prayer night comes. This is where the people of Hyperborea used to communicate with the moons.
Eternal moon, frost moon, iridescent moon. When the power of all three converge,
the gate to the moons shall open.
Moon marrow preparations are complete. Only the final step remains.
I'm sure Nasha Town is livelier than ever at this moment.
Yeah, it's a shame you couldn't be there for it, but it's now or never, right?
It's fine. I'm more than happy with this. My last piece of luggage. My only piece of luggage. I can already feel the moon calling to me.
Your home lies on the far side of this light, Columbina.
from now on, we will at last have a reason to pray to the true moon.
Columbina.
Yes? I'm listening.
Be sure to come back and see us when you get the chance.
Of course.
But if that chance doesn't come, then remember that you have friends on this planet. People who will miss Columbina.
Yes, I will. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us. Well then, farewell, my friends. Thank you. This was my happiest night in Teyvat.
Farewell, Columbina.
The moon really is closer than ever tonight.
Columbina.
All three moons in one place. Time for one final experiment. Reason, life, death, time, and space. They all believed I would fail. But Tevat's primordial power never did belong to the throne of heaven. And now, they are mine.
As long as I'm here, the Doctor is free to wield the Three Moons' power. It's the only way. I guess I won't be going home today.
Columbina! No!
Stubborn world, do not try to control me!
Columbina.
Are you all right? Do your wounds still hurt?
I had someone prepare a little medicine that could prove effective. Take it if you need to.
In that case, let me relate the contents of the call we made to Alice after the incident occurred.
That Dottore is a crafty one. He distracted the Hexenzirkel by creating a huge fuss at Tevat's borders. I'd assumed that the cause was an abyssal intrusion from the outside world, which in fairness is a rather common occurrence. But after learning that you managed to influence the phantoms in Nod-Krai, I realized that perhaps this interference could have come from within Tevat instead.
But we weren't able to change their fates.
True, you couldn't change how their stories ended, but you did build some variables around yourself.
Variables?
Yes, things you heard that you could not otherwise have learned, ideas that would otherwise have never crossed your mind. All these things are variables. Of course, most variables usually pale into insignificance with the myriad of possibilities floating around. But the moment you start treating them as building blocks and intentionally stacking them, that changes things. That's what Dottore did, and it's how he created the necessary conditions so that when you activated the portal tonight, it played right into his plan.
However, we have no way of knowing exactly what he did.
Yeah, we also need to ascertain Columbina's status.
And that about sums it up.
As I suspected, Dottore has disappeared completely. If it's any consolation, he wasn't able to control Columbina as he might have wished to.
Oh no! What? She did what? we saw was Dottore appeared and used some kind of power. The next thing we knew, he and Columbina were gone and you were falling into the sea.
So, Columbina intentionally opened the Moon Gate and escaped into the same mysterious world as Rerir and Thalindis.
Sounds like bad news.
Seen in that way, the trilunar syzygy and Rerir's emergence, Dottore might have been pulling the strings in both cases. According to Miss Alice, he is attempting to transcend his destiny and finish an experiment that only a god might complete.
An utter lunatic.
Wait a sec, where's Hat Guy? Seems like he'd want to be here for this.
He took off with the Dodo communication device after we spoke to Alice. He said he had a hunch that he wanted to investigate by himself. The look on his face was terrifying. I've never seen him like that before.
I'm back.
Hat Guy!
I went to look for the Hyperborean phantoms again. I think I've gotten to the bottom of it. I got them to talk to Nicole on the other end of the communications line. Turns out, the history they describe is different from how Nicole remembers it.
Really? But how? Surely Nicole can't have been wrong.
Because the phantoms are the ones who are deceived. They speak of a savior who appeared in their history, one who never should have existed. This savior promised to create a new moon within the false sky, and even bring back their moon goddesses. Foolishly, they believed in him, and told him everything he wanted to know about the moons. It's obvious that this was Dottore's doing.
Now you mention it, the first time we entered the Hyperborean ruins, we heard the phantoms discussing their history, and I remember Nicole commenting that something sounded a little strange.
But Dottore shouldn't have been able to get in there in the first place.
He didn't. Nicole said that this was an anomalous state triggered by disruptions in the causal connections between phantoms from the same era. The variables that Dottore put in place were substantial enough that they even affected phantoms that he never met.
So it's not that their memories were unclear. They'd been tampered with.
That's exactly the possibility Dottore was trying to manufacture. He turned these variables into knowledge and engineered the situation so all that knowledge would fall into his hands. Then, he harnessed that knowledge on Moon Prayer Night to truly create a false moon.
How is that even possible?
To be precise, he exploited a weakness in the way the spell works. The spell senses Kuvaki to detect the moon's location. So, as long as the false moon more strongly resembled a moon than the frost moon beyond the skies, the gate would teleport Columbina to the false moon's location. In other words, to Dottore's side. Once he had her under control, the teleportation spell remained active, and he manipulated her power to seize both moon marrows.
At that moment, the moon marrows disappeared right before our eyes. It was already too late, even as we were leaving the ruins.
By then, Dottore had already amassed the power of all 3 moons.
So, where does that leave us? What do we do now?
I'd certainly like to know what Her Majesty thinks, now that the concerns I expressed to her have come to pass. But we cannot simply sit and wait for her to decide the matter. And in any case, it is not the Fatui Harbinger Damselette who sees us as her friends, but rather Columbina Hyposelenia. If, even in such extreme circumstances, Her Majesty will not lift the prohibition on Harbingers drawing steel against one another, then I will do as my heart demands. I will fight as Peruware instead.
Oh, Arlecchino!
Time is short, so I'll make the first move.
Whew. Even Arlecchino seems to be losing her cool now.
All right. Lose those dejected looks for a moment and let me get a word in. It looks bad, I won't lie. Very bad, in fact. So Dottore's pulled some real dirty tricks to gain the upper hand. For now. And yeah, it's to the point where even the mages say that his variables have affected destiny. I'm not so sure, though. Many have told me that Tevat's destiny is fixed, and that does appear to be the case. Well, what makes Dottore so sure he'll be the exception? And since he was able to stack these variables up, who's to say we can't do the same? You of all people should not be discouraged, traveler from afar. This isn't over yet. And you're not alone in that. Everyone here does, whether they've spoken thus far or not. But none of us are the type to sit back and wait for the sun to shine again. That's exactly how a knight should roll. If they knock you down, you get back up and get back in it. Don't forget, Honorary Knight, you're a legitimate member of Mondstadt too.
Is right. This is far from over. Dottore's already way overdue a butt kicking given his past shenanigans. And after this, he's earned himself a double dose.
That's what I'm talking about. How's everyone else feeling?
I'll use Kuvaki to investigate Columbina's whereabouts. I'm not ready to give up either.
Leave the intel gathering to me. Whatever happens within Nod-Krai's borders, when the Curatorium of Secrets wants to be in the know, we always find a way.
Aino and I will do all we can to support you. We will attempt to reverse engineer Dottore's actions and seek a breakthrough that way.
Alice and Nicole are busy dealing with an emergency at Tevat's borders, so they can't return just yet. But they're both very angry about this. They've asked Albedo and me to act on the Hexen Circle's behalf and do everything in our power to fight back against Dottore.
Are you ready then? We're going to have to conduct a lot of research, even in the early stages.
I'll do my best.
As for me, I'm pretty familiar with Dottore's way of doing things, so I can try to predict his next move. I'll help with your investigation.
Nice! Looks like we have our basic division of labor. I'll get in touch with Flint's and Itlua, get them to have a chat with their Starshiner. It couldn't hurt to bring the Lightkeepers on board as well. At the same time, I'll pass on instructions to the knights present in Nod-Krai to assist the Lightkeepers and other organizations in ensuring the safety of those living here.
Yeah! We'll show him!
That's it then. Good luck, everyone.
I never thought that Columbina would become my real name. It went from being a Fatui code name to something my friends call me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us.
Ad Astra Ab. Thank you for completing today.
says there's tons of work lately. Why is none of it coming to me?
The kids come over again today. I think I'll give them these toys.
This should just about do it. Traveler? Hello? I didn't think I'd run into you here. Right. I should have realized. Master Jean told me you'd be here. We just didn't know when you'd arrive. I didn't expect to run into you as soon as I set foot in Nod-Krai. Yes, the Grandmaster sent you a letter, didn't he? He also sent one back to Mondstadt, telling us all about how you were doing. Of course, all the knights back home are still figuring out how to support you. But the Grandmaster wrote that we shouldn't be hasty and that he already had everything in hand. Yep, the Grandmaster's always reliable when it comes to important business. So when he says he'll handle something, we know we can count on him. But of course, if you run into any trouble, remember that the knights will always be there to help you. Feel free to come look for us whenever. After all, you're our honorary knight, a valued member of our order. That's what Master Jean told me to tell you when I departed from Mondstadt. Huh? Give me a moment. I didn't bring any sweet madame with me, but I do happen to have a bottle of our best cider. Captain Kaya asked me to bring it along. He knew you'd miss it. Guess he was right. Okay, I need a minute. I put it in my backpack and wrapped it in clothes. Oh, here it is. Go on. Have a taste. I did, of course. When I was leaving, the Grandmaster specifically asked me to bring some bottles of our very best dandelion wine for him. At first, Master Jean protested that my main objective on this long journey was to deliver letters to Nod-Krai, and she'd rather I not overload my luggage. She said someone else could transport it later. But after giving it much thought, I packed 2 bottles of wine for the Grandmaster anyway. Otherwise, he'd be talking my ear off about how wonderful dandelion wine is while waiting for it to get delivered. Oh, right. If you crave fresh sweet madames and steak, do come back and visit the Knights of Favonius' headquarters when you're free. That was what Amber wanted me to tell you. And that's all the messages I have for you. I should get going. Farewell, honorary knight.
Fruits from every corner of Teyvat, including rare Northland varieties you won't find anywhere else. Come, try some.
Better to just let the youngins choose their own path in life, huh? If the kids come over again today, I think I'll give them these toys.
Fruits from every corner of Teyvat, including rare Northland varieties you won't find anywhere else. Come, try some.
The kids come over again today.
Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me.
There. All better. Next time, if it's too heavy, don't try and... Acting tough isn't going to... Off you go now. Oh, actually, one moment. Take this twig. I picked it up by the roadside. It seems nice and sturdy. Of course. And do tell your friends that they're always welcome here if they need a warm place to...
Traveler from beyond this world, will you witness this tale unfold?
Alice?
You recognized me just like that? Maybe I need to work on my impression. Anywho, come to Star Sand Shoal. There's a little something I'd like your help with.
Well, it wouldn't be Clay's mom without a hefty dose of mystery, huh?